What's up, guys? The Strong Boys 19 here. So this is going to be a concert review video that I decided to do. I was going to do it last night, but it was pretty late and we had to get back home after the show. But last night I had been to my first big major live concert in like more than a year and a half inside the Utilita arena in Birmingham to see Genesis. This is in part of the last Domino tour, and purchased these tickets through Ticketmaster, and I'm going to give you my experience with the concert. And speaking of Genesis, as I've mentioned before, I will be reviewing the rest of the band's discography. So I will be doing my review on their second album later this coming week. Anyways, so Genesis last night for their last Domino tour. They are playing in Birmingham for the third time tonight, and I've seen Genesis when they had performed inside this same venue, which was the second time. And as well as the rest of the tours, they are going to be performing elsewhere in the UK. I'll have to say that my experience seeing Genesis was an absolute honour. And I know some people have been very critical and iffy about purchasing the tickets or even seeing Genesis at this current state of the band's lineup. And the two original members of seeing Tony Banks and Mike Rutherford was just a brilliant sight to see, because they have been in Genesis since the formation. And with Phil Collins, I wouldn't say that he was an original member, but really he's been one of the later few replacements after the first couple of albums in the Genesis discography. So I will still say that Phil Collins is still as important, because he has his own flavours, his own adventurous sound into building up the style of what Genesis would later on become in the Peter Gabriel progressive rock scene, and as well as going through different sounds later on after Peter Gabriel's departure. So it's brilliant to see Phil Collins live. And we have seen the news lately that Phil has been going through health issues. His health was deteriorating, and he did say that he had lost his ability to hold a drumstick, so he can't play drums anymore, which is a massive shame, because I do like Phil Collins, and he's one of my favourite drummers of all time, and not a lot of people do credit him as an outstanding drummer, but you have to give him so much of the appreciation that he has delivered some of the best drumming ever in progressive rock. And the way that I do see Phil now is he has given it all that he was delivering last night for the show. Throughout the entirety of the show, he had to be sat down and he was singing with his microphone, and he did step up and walked off stage with his stick very, very comfortably. I do feel for Phil, because, he's just as an important member in Genesis and as with being a musician as a whole. And Nick Collins, his son, played the drums the entirety of the show, and I will have to say that his drumming was phenomenal. Absolutely worth the time to see his son on the kit. And to suspect that he has been learning the drums because of his dad, it really is something, because I was really interested to see what Nicholas is like after Phil's time on the drums, and he just nailed it right through the roof. And The vocals were backed up by two different male backing vocalists harmonizing with Phil, and Daryl, who's the touring guitarist for the show, and he has done a wonderful job. His lead guitar tone was brilliant. Such a fluidity and a fantastic sound. And you just have to give the last three remaining actual members of Genesis a lot of the credit here, because I doubt after this leg of the tour that they will ever come back to tour again because of Phil's health. So even if it would just be the only time that I will see these guys live, it has been just a wonderful experience. The set list was really, really good. They played various songs, mainly through the poppy era of the band's career. They played tracks from eras of Duke to the self-titled, and then there were three, and some songs from the Invisible Touch album, and they did a few pieces on the Peter Gabriel era of Genesis. They have played the instrumental second half part of Fourth or Fifth, where you would see Daryl come to shine his own part with the way Steve Hackett would have done the guitar solos, and his guitar soloing was wonderful. And they did a snippet of The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, and to finalize the set, they had finished with the Carpet Crawlers. One major big difference throughout the show was almost all of the tracks were changed in different keys because of the way Phil's voice was going through, because of his state. And I give the guys so much of the credit that they have to change keys throughout the entirety of the show. They played the pop songs like Land of Confusion, Invisible Touch, I Can't Dance, Tonight, 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 Mama, and I'll have to say the musicianship was just brilliant. Really great, and a very tight sound of the band. Even on the visuals, on the major big screen on the center of the stage behind the band, showing different artistic animations and visual effects, and the lighting was superb. Such an adrenaline inducing and an exciting ride, really. I'll have to say that the first half of the set was really, really good. However, I think, in my opinion, as much as I love a lot of Genesis, I think the second half of the set towards the end was a little bit inconsistent and um, not as like well following each other, because there were songs like Tonight, 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 Invisible Touch, and I Can't Dance, and those three songs personally have never been one of my favorite Genesis songs whatsoever. But I do really enjoy what they were achieving to put out a very well put together and well executed show. Much respect to Phil Collins for battling and powering on throughout the show, and the backing vocals did suit so well. It's just a brilliant blend to accompany Collins all the way through the show, and I will have to give Genesis so much appreciation, because no matter, as a band, they've been around for more than 5 decades, it has still been a privilege to see the band live, and I know that these ticket prices were astronomical, but it was worth it. So I'm going to keep this ticket stub, and I have bought a Last Domino t-shirt that will be shown in my upcoming update video. So anyways, very, very good show for what it is. And if you have seen Genesis live, let me know, what do you think of the entirety of the show with your time in the comments down below. For any Genesis fan out there, I am very interested to see what your comments are. So that pretty much wraps it up for my concert review for Genesis in part of the Last Domino tour. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll keep you guys posted for more videos in the near future.